Hello and welcome to another episode of Stalking Sticklebacks. I've got my mini rod and reel that's made up very simple approach, just a shot there to give me some flicking weight. I can hardly call it casting on these small brooks, and a size 18 hook, and then a maggot. I've arrived, the fish are there, the sticklebacks. They darted when they saw me. You can't help that sometimes. It's so shallow, so clear, so intimate. But give it a couple of minutes or so while I'm talking, they'll recover. I'll get the bait in, then hopefully I'll be back with a fish. I do like to switch sides that I'm filming because it brings a little bit of variety into the proceedings. Unfortunately, where I am now, it's very tight and I can't do that. I've just cast out and I'm going to give you an update to what's happening. I say cast out, as I've mentioned already, more like flicking the bait. Well, the sticklebacks are on it straight away. Oh, and I just had one on and it came off as I lifted it from the water. And of course I don't mind that happening because I don't want them to swallow the hook, which they will do. There must be about 10 of them, 12, 15 maybe. They're all on it straight away. You can see them twisting and turning in the water. Most of them though are quite small. And they've all gone. Now they've come back. The running commentary of the sticklebacks. If you didn't know any better, you'd say there's a big predator after them. Although this is so shallow that there's nothing else in there. In fact, it's just almost like an aquarium environment where these fish are, because until there's some extra water, they're not going to really escape from this pool, this bend that I'm fishing on. And if there was another predator in there, like a perch or a pike, I tell you what, those sticklebacks would not be there. But they are, and they're back on the bait again, twisting and turning, but unfortunately nothing of any size yet. I know that there are bigger ones in here though, and if you saw my last video, my last blog entry, wow, what a fantastic fish that was. It inspired me. Not that I needed any inspiration, if I'm honest. I love this type of fishing. It takes me back to when I was a kid, and I have always had a fascination for small brooks, small streams. Just the one fish on there now, and a few more have joined. I'll tell you what, I'll come back when I actually land one. That did the trick. I cut the maggot in half, so less of it to be taken by the fish. Just a small 3-spined stickleback. And look at the size of that one compared to the hook and the bait. You get to see the perspective there. Just a small fish, in fact one of the smaller ones you would be realistically expected to catch using a hook and a maggot. It's a size 18, and a white maggot I've gone for today so I can see better on the bottom. I returned that fish and within seconds it had blended itself in, extremely well camouflaged. Another one bites the dust. They're great, aren't they? I do like sticklebacks. You can see the spines. And if you look carefully, you've got 3 on the back there. We also have a 9-spined fish and a 15, although the latter is predominantly a saltwater species. Fish number 4, nothing massive yet, but regardless of the size, they are wonderful. The mini species, I do love them very much indeed. Fish number 5, this time it's a definite male and it's still got the red throat. They look magnificent, don't they? That's their breeding colour. I'm still in the same spot. I've caught 8 fish, all 3-pound sticklebacks, and do you know what is really exciting? Something else has just moved into the area where I'm dropping the bait, and I can't quite see because it's very overgrown. I'm looking downstream slightly, but to me it looks like a bullhead. It's definitely not a stickleback. Anyway, this potentially is very exciting, although having said that, just to locate that fish is exciting enough in itself. But if I could catch it, I'll tell you what, that would be great. Let's see if I can. I decided to put a whole maggot on to eliminate the smaller fish. I didn't catch the visitor, which I did see, and I think it's a bullet, I'm not sure, but I did get this stickleback instead, the largest of the session so far. Another decent one there. That's fish number 19. I'm getting one every cast now. Although the sticklebacks are feeding freely, they're going wild as soon as that bait hits the water, begins to sink. The lead goes down first of all. I've got a, well, you wouldn't call it a hook length, of course, but I've got the lead, the little shot, should I say, about 10 inches away from the hook, so that the bait settles naturally itself, and as soon as it just hits the water, starts to fall, there's a little gang of them around it, and that intense competition for food means that I'm having the success that I am. Feeding, whether you're on a big gravel pit or a river or a tiny brook, is very important. I'm not putting any extra maggots out, just the one on the hook bait, and it's working. But that big fish, the bullhead, which I'm sure it was, that's gone back downstream now, and I don't know where it is, and it's just a tiny area that I'm actually on right now. But fish have a wonderful way of hiding themselves away, don't they? Anyway, even if it doesn't put in an appearance today, it certainly inspired me to come back and to keep fishing this particular section that I've located recently. I caught 34 fish from that particular spot, like that. Well, I think it was a bullhead, didn't really get a good look at it, but like that bigger fish anyway. I've also moved downstream, and immediately I've got the sticklebacks interested. Not sure I'll get 34 from this particular spot though, but I have got a nice fish. First cast. Oh, it's very overgrown. I'll unhook it. It has taken the hook and the maggot fair and square. And there it is. Just a couple of fish from this particular spot, and in all honesty, that's probably more like it on a venue like this. I'll tell you what though, that little visitor that I had will certainly be bringing me back. So, as they say, watch this space. And if you are out and about yourself, whether it's stalking sticklebacks on a tiny brook, or whether you're fishing the ocean for conger eels or whatever it may be, tight lines.